to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to be back and bringing you another amazing video, which again, excuse the background, bit off the cuff, and as I mentioned in my last video, I'm moving house soon, so things are a little bit all over the place in my house at the moment. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the one question that you can use with a candidate that instantly builds rapport. But what I want to start with is talking about the importance of rapport with candidates. Some consultants, and it's not always your fault, can look at the candidate as too much of a product. And when we're doing those initial screening calls, we can sort of get our very regimented questions covered off, but actually, are we focusing on building a strong enough relationship with that candidate? Now, ultimately, this creates a much better experience for the candidate. You get a better commitment from them, more loyalty, but also I think it actually makes our job more fun as well to get to know these people on a deeper level. So for both parties, it's beneficial, but look, at the end of the day, if you want to make more placements and have more candidates to work with, that initial call, you must be focusing on the rapport building. It is massively, massively important. And the one question I'm going to talk about today is going to help you do that. Now, I alluded to there about candidate commitment and loyalty. Rapport to me is so powerful because it really establishes that trust. And I'm talking here from experience. I've been in recruitment for nearly 12 years and I've always put a big emphasis on rapport building. Sometimes when others would tell me it wasn't so important, and I've never looked back, and it's always benefited me. Now, I'm going to give you a sort of real world example of where this comes into play. Now, as you all know watching this, there are thousands of recruitment companies in the UK, and that's just the UK. You're going to be watching this maybe from different countries. I dread to think how many there are across the world. It would be a ridiculous amount. And we need ways we can stand out. Remember that those candidates, they have their pick of the bunch. They can go to another agency like that, go and work with another consultant and find a temp, contract, perm opportunity. So the trust piece comes in massively. Now, particularly if you are in a role where you're doing a temp desk or a contract desk and you quite often will work with candidates on a repeat basis, they need to trust you, they need to like you, they need to know you, to want to stick with you, with your agency, so they don't go to the competitors. It is a fierce market out there, and at the end of the day, we would be nothing without our candidates. So the rapport that you're building with them really establishes the trust that they can work with you, get their needs met, and actually they don't need to go to another agency. Okay, so I'm going to reveal the question to you. What's most important to you in your next role? Now, it's nothing mind-blowing, it's nothing crazy, it's nothing revolutionary. It's a simple, straightforward question, but recruitment is simple and straightforward. We just sometimes overcomplicate it. And this is a question that actually a lot of people can sometimes miss. They're very concerned about the vacancy that they're calling about and qualifying them for it, but actually we need to make sure we find out, what do they want? What's most important to them? So I'm going to break down why it's so powerful and why it's so important. First of all, it shows a genuine interest in them. And I think sometimes that's what candidates don't like, is that they feel that, well, this consultant just wants to speak to me to make some money off me. But actually this shows an interest in, well, I'm trying to help you. What is it you want? What is it you need? I want to learn about you. Also, it opens dialogue. When we start speaking to some candidates, not everybody is really confident speaking to us. We can't expect them to instantly tell us their life story. So if we're trying to build rapport, this can be a great way to open people up, open up the chat, open up the conversation, and just learn more about them and whether we've got anything that fits their needs. If we don't, we can go and find the right thing for them then. And lastly, it uncovers their motivations. It's really important for us to know this, isn't it? It's not about just putting a candidate in a role that suits us. We need to make sure it's right for them. So knowing their motivations helps us match with the right opportunity, the right vacancies, the right managers, the right clients, everything. So how can you use it effectively? I've always found a question like this can work really well towards the start of the conversation. It opens up the dialogue. It shows them this is about you, this conversation. I want to know more about you. I want to know what motivates you. You might have asked them first, maybe what's the reason they're looking at the moment. And this can lead on really nicely from that, especially if you've got a candidate that maybe is a little bit nervous, a little bit reserved, it sort of starts to open them up a little bit. But Sometimes I used to ask it a bit later, so I might ask why they're looking, I might explore their current experience a bit, and then I might delve into what they want next. So it's up to you, but as I said, it can work really well as a dialogue opener towards the start to show them, actually, I'm in this for you. What is it you want next? I see it as a really important question as well, because you can revert back to this information later. So for God's sake, make sure you put it on the CRM, whatever they say. Because remember, later down the line, we may get to a situation, hopefully, where you have an offer for this person. Maybe they get a counter offer. Maybe they have another offer on the table. You can revert back to what they told you was motivating them, what they wanted next. Because if it's the role you've got, and maybe they've got a bit disillusioned, you can always go back to that initial chat and what they told you was super, super important. And actually, I would keep following up on this. I would keep going back to it as you go through the process with them. So to recap, the question that can help you build instant rapport is, what is most important to you in your next role? And the benefits of asking this is it opens up the dialogue, it makes the candidate feel comfortable, you're finding out their motivations, and it shows a genuine interest in that candidate. So I'm going to set you a little task. Put it to the test, use it in your next candidate conversation and add into the comments the results. What have you noticed? What's changed about the dialogue that you then have with the candidate? Also, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it, add any questions in the comments. But also I've got tons of other videos, not just about candidate conversations, building relationships. I've got loads of business development conversations as well, so make sure you give them a watch. And if there's anything I haven't covered that you think is missing, please do tell me. I will always make videos around what people are finding is really challenging. But thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you very soon.